This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Monsoon rains have hammered drought-stricken western portions of the country, including Utah, where rescue crews are still searching for a missing hiker swept away in the water at Zion National Park. Flash flooding triggered overnight rescues in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. CBS meteorologist David Parkinson.
The ground is so overly full and saturated that even if you don't get as much rain north of I-20, you're still likely to see flooding, and that's why we have that flood watch through Monday night, and I suspect it will get extended as well.
Experts fear lack of water around the world will drive up prices and slow down deliveries. Vicki Barker is at the foreign desk.
It isn't just California. Climatologists warn severe drought is affecting much of the northern hemisphere, withering crops, emptying rivers, and worsening a supply chain crisis that's already pushing food and energy prices to record highs. Europe's drought is on track to be the worst in 500 years. The American West is 2 decades into the worst drought in over a millennium. The UN says land degradation and human-linked climate change are largely to blame.
Former President Trump's lawyers plan to ask a judge to appoint a neutral party to review and possibly return evidence seized at Mar-a-Lago. More from correspondent Deborah Alfarone.
Another document of interest, the affidavit used to get approval for the FBI search. The Justice Department says releasing the affidavit could cause irreparable damage to their ongoing criminal investigation. The federal judge in Florida who signed off on the FBI search has given the Justice Department until Thursday to submit proposed redactions to the affidavit.
A suspect in Boston mobster Whitey Bulger's murder has a court appearance today. Correspondent Scott McFarlane.
A Justice Department official tells CBS News it'll be a detention hearing and arraignment for 36-year-old Sean McKinnon in Florida. McKinnon is one of 3 people charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder against 89-year-old Whitey Bulger, the Boston crime figure killed 4 years ago in October at the Hazleton Federal Prison in West Virginia.
78-year-old actor Gary Busey's been charged with sexual misconduct and harassment after his appearance at a horror film convention near Philly this month. And something is getting people sick at a fast food chain. Here's CBS's Wendy Gillette.
Wendy's says it's pulling lettuce from sandwiches in restaurants in Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania after people eating them there reported becoming ill. The CDC said it's working to determine whether romaine lettuce is the source of an E. coli outbreak that sickened at least 37 people and sent 10 to the hospital.
S&P futures down 46. This is CBS News.
Good morning from WCLU. 65 degrees. We want to jump in here in the middle of the CBS newscast to remind you about a terrible situation travel-wise this morning. We have fog, visibility well below a quarter of a mile out there in most areas. If you're going to be out driving this morning, the fog is really thick, and it really is going to be difficult driving for the next hour and a half, because with the sun rising and the very thick fog, it's going to make visibility at 0 in many sections of southern Kentucky. So be aware of that. Factor that in. Extra time on the morning commute, whether you're headed to school, whether you're headed to work. Just need to be very careful, because we have very low visibility out there after yesterday afternoon's rain. We did get a total of, 8,300ths of an inch of rain yesterday, and with the low dew point, that's making it for a very treacherous drive this morning. So really be careful. Drive with caution. Low visibility. Fog is all throughout south central Kentucky. Brennan Crane and local news straight ahead.
Near you.
In less than a decade, baby bonds have gone from a proposal to reality in one city.
Washington, D.C. is the first laboratory for the program, which will provide children of the poorest families in the city, when they turn 18, up to $25,000 to pay for college, invest in a business, or make a down payment on a home. Local, state, and federal officials are monitoring the experiment, which is designed to help bridge Washington's growing wealth gap in a single generation. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
The pregame party's about to get a lot more expensive for football fans.
Shish kebab for you, shish kebab for him.
A new report from Wells Fargo finds the cost for tailgating essentials has soared with inflation. Gas prices still well above 2021's average $3.17 a gallon. They're the biggest drag. In the food department, hot dogs are 5% more expensive. Chicken, 17% more. And ground beef for burgers, up 9%. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
Get glowing for your wedding day and have picture-perfect skin with the help of the experts at R Plus Med Spa. They prioritize a tailored approach, starting with a complimentary bridal consultation to share any skin concerns you have as you prepare for your big day. This is also perfect for the mother of the bride, the groom, and your bridal party. R Plus Med Spa, 210 Shane Drive in Glasgow. Call 270-651-4SPA and schedule your complimentary bridal consultation today.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Well, again, the big news this morning is the fog. Let's be aware of that as we make ready for our morning commute. Visibility just about zero in many parts of southern Kentucky. The rain shower activity yesterday and the low dew point has us with some very, very, very low fog. We'll talk about that in a minute, but as is customary, we like to start off with birthdays today. So I'm going to tell you about Jenny Wilson, who celebrates today. Theresa Nelson is celebrating. Joe Burton Downing. Janet Jackson. Rick Meek. Our very own Nikki Vidito has a birthday today. Devin Wilson. I'm sorry, it's Devin Williams. Devin is 22 today. Leanne Hyde has a birthday. Tess Bird. Jose Carlos with a birthday today. And let's see, we also have Steve Emberton. Happy birthday to Steve Emberton. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. And online, we're here for you at WCLUradio.com. Birthdays and anniversaries, part of what we do to have fun each and every day here on WCLU. Now let's talk about the weather forecast today. We talked a lot about the fog, very, very low visibility. Here's what's going to happen, though. We're going to have the sun out later on this morning, a slight chance of a shower or a thunder shower in between, but gradually becoming sunny and a high of 84 degrees. For tonight, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low of 63. Tuesday, sunshine and 84. Tuesday night, clear and low of 63. And Wednesday, sunny and a high of 87 degrees. Now, the WCLU constant coverage and studio radar screen shows no imminent precipitation, but again, the fog is the issue. Let me tell you about yesterday's precip. Let's go from west to east. If you were in Smiths Grove yesterday, you got 0.42 of an inch of rain. You doubled that in Glasgow. 0.83 is what we had in our rain gauge yesterday. 0.83, but then it really spreads out. We hit, let's see, an inch and 85 up in Munfordville, an inch and 61 over in Edmonton, and almost 2 inches up in E-Town yesterday. So depends on where you are as to how much moisture you got. We needed it, but today we're changing the subject matter to the fog. Let's get started early and avoid having travel problems. Pressure's down at 29.99. Southwest winds at 3 miles an hour. 100% humidity. 65 WCLU. It is 10 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good morning live.
Late sleepers everywhere are demanding breakfast until noon on weekends. Well, hit that snooze button because Hardee's is extending breakfast hours until noon. And now you can celebrate it with the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal. Imagine eating your choice of a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy all before midday on the weekends. The late sleepers have spoken. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day. Price of participation may vary.
Come see Thomas Oil and Fuel at 219 Industrial Drive. They offer 24-hour day at the pump service or pay inside during their normal business hours. Weekdays 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. No account required. They welcome everyone. Call them with your bulk fuel or oil orders at 270-651-5212. Also, come check out their selection of VP Racing fuels. You'll be greeted with a smile. Thank you to everyone who has been by to support them, and they look forward to meeting those of you who haven't. Thomas Oil and Fuel, under new ownership, 219 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, August 22nd, 2022, 6:11:65 degrees. Welcome into WCLU Local News. As you've just heard a few moments ago, we are dealing with a very, very thick fog this morning. In fact, visibility is recorded at this point at the Glasgow airport about a quarter of a mile. And if you are driving around, at least in the city and across the whole region here, you're not going to see very far in front of you. So be aware of that this morning. And as Henry just mentioned a few moments ago, we are going to have some clearing, of course, as the day warms up. We'll see some sun today. Areas of fog are going to linger around the 9 a.m. sector. We should see that leaving the area. Otherwise, mostly cloudy today. A little bit of sun peeking through, a high near 84 degrees for your start to the work week on this Monday, August 22nd. Well, local authorities have released more information about that pursuit that happened last Thursday, where Glasgow police initiated it, and it ended in Adair County. They say that last Thursday, Glasgow police arrested those two people on drug-related charges after that pursuit. An officer observed that vehicle along Park Avenue traveling through a residential neighborhood at a high rate of speed and driving reckless. Police say the officer attempted to conduct a traffic stop. However, that vehicle refused to stop and traveled along New Salem Road before turning onto Beaver Creek Road and coming to an abrupt stop. At that point, the driver, later identified as Brandon Shaw, placed the vehicle in reverse and began to travel as the officer, at a high rate of speed, attempted to strike that cruiser. So again, the car in question here began to back up, attempting to strike that police cruiser, according to the local authorities. Shaw failed to strike the police cruiser and sped off again, traveling into Metcalfe County. At that point, got onto the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Expressway, traveling eastbound. Police say that state police got involved there. They were able to successfully deploy spike strips on the suspect's vehicle's tires, and a short time later they were able to get that vehicle stopped in Adair County. Now, officers confirmed that Brandon Shaw did not have a valid operator's license. He was non-compliant with the sex offender registry, and he had active warrants. Officers conducted a search of that vehicle at a later time. There they located a syringe and methamphetamine, they allege. Now, Shaw is charged with several charges, really so many that they fill the news release that the police sent out. Shaw of Park City is charged with several, including reckless driving, first-degree assault of a police officer, failure to comply with the sex offender registry, and, of course, several traffic offenses. Pamela Stinnett of Glasgow, she was also arrested in connection to that incident. She's charged with possession of a controlled substance in the first degree, possession of an open alcoholic beverage container in a motor vehicle, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And speaking of police, they are saying as children are returning to school, be aware that there are several things you need to be looking out for. Of course, this morning we're dealing with a lot of fog in the area, so keep in mind that school buses are out and about at this hour, and if you are traveling around,
Be aware, especially on those county roads where we don't necessarily have lights or things like that to help guide your way. There are going to be school buses stopped, and in areas, children will be loading and unloading on those buses. AAA East Central has launched its annual Schools Open Drive Carefully campaign. They're saying the campaign aims to encourage parents to talk about the importance of school zone safety with their children and teen drivers. Now, of course, speed, it's a crucial factor in protecting the lives of students as they make their way to class. And according to the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, a pedestrian struck by a vehicle traveling at 20 miles per hour is about 2/3 less likely to be killed as compared to a pedestrian struck by a vehicle traveling just 10 miles more at 30 miles per hour. Around half of Kentucky adults believe the pandemic is over in their personal lives, according to a new poll released by the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky. More from our Nadia Ramlagan.
The findings come as the CDC recently relaxed its guidelines, eliminating quarantine recommendations for individuals exposed to COVID. The agency now advises wearing a high-quality mask for 5 days and testing on day 5. The new recommendations also emphasize that individuals with COVID-19 should stay away from people, regardless of vaccination status, until test results come back negative. President-elect of the Kentucky Medical Association, Dr. Mona Lisa Taylor, says she's having conversations with her patients about continuing to take precautions such as mask wearing in indoor public spaces.
COVID is still here. COVID doesn't care what season it is, winter, summer, spring, fall. It's still very, very present.
More Kentuckians have received at least one shot of the vaccine since last year, but nearly 2/3 of the unvaccinated say they will definitely not get the vaccine, and more than 1/3 say they'll get it if required, or will continue to wait and see. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
And as for the current COVID-19 county check, according to the CDC, Barron County remains in the medium category, which is one step below, of course, that high-risk category of a lot of disease spread, for lack of better words. And, of course, keep in mind as you are traveling around with the fog, we are also keeping in mind the Labor Day weekend that's coming up, and local authorities are urging you to drive sober or get pulled over. Of course, Labor Day marks the unofficial end of the summer, and we want to encourage everyone to celebrate responsibly by booking a safe ride home or designating a sober driver if your celebrations include alcohol. That's according from Governor Andy Beshear. Now, while law enforcement officers patrol for impaired drivers year-round, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says impaired driving-related crashes, they tend to increase during that Labor Day holiday period. According to the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, last year in Kentucky, there were 4,670 total crashes involving an impaired driver, which resulted in 2,187 injuries and 194 deaths. If you're impaired, you can use a ride booking company, taxi, call a sober friend or family member, or use public transportation to get home safely. And if you see an impaired driver, safely pull over and contact law enforcement. You can contact state police toll-free at 1-800-222-5555, or, of course, always call 911. For more information, you can find that at kydrivesober.com. It's 6:18, 65 degrees. You're listening to WCLU Local News. We'll be right back.
Looking to buy a home? Look to the mortgage professionals at U.S. Bank. Amy Stafford, mortgage lender for the Barron County market, knows buying a home can be a scary process. She has the experience to help you decide how much home you can afford, whether a conventional fixed or adjustable rate loan or FHA or VA may fit your situation. Call Amy at 659-3200. She'll take the time necessary to answer all of your questions. You'll feel good about choosing U.S. Bank to partner with in purchasing your first or your next home. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC.
WCLU, Boutique Unique, and the Haywood Valley Farm loves to help you grill and chill in style. It's Grillin' and Chillin' with your chance to win a huge prize package valued at over $1,300, including a brand new gas grill, an Arctic hardside cooler, a $100 car and truck tire care kit, a 28-inch Blackstone griddle, $150 in Haywood Valley Farm's premium beef, a Fireline knife, and $50 Fireline gift card, and much, much more. Stop by and register to win at any of our Grillin' and Chillin' sponsors in Glasgow, including Boutique Unique and Haywood Valley Farms. 302 Happy Happy Valley Road. Fireline Guns and Knives at 1207 West Main Street. Southern Kentucky Tire Pros, 1004 Happy Valley Road. Barren River Beverages at 1668 Burkesville Road. Enter by 12 noon September 1st. Grand prize drawing 2 p.m. September 1st at Boutique Unique in Haywood Valley Farms. Grillin' and chillin' from Southern Kentucky Tire Pros, your one-stop shop for all of your auto repair and tire needs. Boutique Unique, the area's first shop carrying quality handcrafted products made in Kentucky, plus painted furniture and vintage finds. And WCLU. See complete contest rules at WCLUradio.com. Click contests.
Welcome back to WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. It's 6:19 currently and 65 degrees. Again, we can't stress to you enough this morning the fog is quite thick out there. In fact, visibility is about a quarter of a mile. If you're watching with us on our Channel 6 feed or you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can see that looking eastward here along West Main Street. Traffic is heading toward the westbound side of West Main Street. Lights are on this morning, meaning you need to have those on because visibility really is reduced. Of course, we'll see that clearing out about 9 o'clock this morning. Hopefully, as temperatures warm, that'll be reduced greatly, even in the next hour or so. But again, just use caution on your commute today. While the Glasgow City Council is slated to meet this evening at 7 o'clock, that's going to be there at the City Council chambers here in Glasgow. Several things are on the agenda this evening. The first, under new business, is Steve Chandler, who is from Chandler Thinks, that Franklin, Tennessee-based branding company, or marketing company, if you will. He is set to present the branding and logo information to the City Council this evening. Now, if you recall, Mr. Chandler was expected to provide that about May this year, but that work was delayed a little bit. Apparently, he had some other things working on that whole package. Now, we don't know exactly what he's slated to reveal to the City Council. We understand that they are going to be taking up, however, a resolution this evening also to accept that logo, perhaps. Now, excuse me, that's going to be an ordinance, not a resolution. That's going to be an ordinance. Now, a council member previously told WCLU News that that could possibly be by an executive order on the mayor's part to accept that logo that was released by the Strategic Planning Committee a few weeks ago. However, according to tonight's agenda, they are going to be doing an ordinance accepting the use of the City of Glasgow's logo as presented from Chandler Thinks. Now, the important part about this is that this has to require 2 readings, meaning they will approve it tonight or they will deny it. If they deny it this evening, that means that it's dead and they'll have to redo something perhaps or finagle that logo, if you will. If they pass it this evening, it will go for a second reading in another couple of weeks, and then they will have that logo in place. Also on the agenda this evening is a resolution to authorize the City of Glasgow to dispose of surplus equipment from the Glasgow Police Department. They'll also be looking at an ordinance to add 2 additional police officers to the next fiscal year budget, and an ordinance closing access way there on East Washington Street to protect pedestrian traffic safety. And finally, this evening, the big news is the resolution that they are set to look at this evening, and that's going to be for the City of Glasgow to accept the option to purchase agreement from Barron County magistrates to purchase land. Now, of course, we speculate that this is in connection to that Judicial Center project, essentially where the courthouse is going to be built. We've been focusing on those 2 portions of land there along West Main Street that are near the Glasgow Post Office there and the Dollar General store and adjacent to the Glasgow Water Company. And again, it's unclear this evening what this option to purchase agreement will entail, but we'll follow that through and we'll give you that coverage after tonight's meeting. Authorities say 9 people were arrested at the Kentucky State Fair this weekend, which closed early Saturday night after suspicious activity was reported to law enforcement. Kentucky State Police said in a statement that the fair began a soft close at about 10 p.m. to ensure the safety of attendees. Police say there were no reported injuries. Now, police say that the initial investigation, it does show that a group of people caused panic with noise-making devices, leading fairgoers to believe shots had been fired. Investigators have found no physical evidence that a weapon was fired, but that investigation is ongoing. The National Park Service has awarded $180,000 to help with rehabilitation efforts at the old Mulkey Meeting House State Historic Site. The Kentucky Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet said in a statement that the grant is a part of a program commemorating the 250th anniversary of the founding in the United States. Rather, of the United States. Old Mulkey's focus is the Meeting House, which is a 218-year-old structure that was the original home of Mill Creek Baptist Church, which was led by John Mulkey there in Monroe County from 1773 to 1844. The statement says the Meeting House is currently the oldest freestanding log church in the state. And finally today, the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education says college graduation rates are continuing to climb in the state, although undergraduate enrollment has fallen. The Council's 2022 progress report says graduation rates increased 1.8 percentage points at public universities and 4.1 points in the Kentucky Community and Technical College system. Now, the report provides information about public higher education performance for the 2020-2021 school year. The document says underrepresented minority students' graduation rates at those public universities, they rose 4.3 percentage points, and the council says those students continue to outpace progress overall, narrowing performance disparities. 625, 65 degrees. One more time, foggy out there this morning on your commute. Allow yourself some extra time. Take it slow out there and make sure those headlights and fog lights are on. Have a great Monday.
Catch Brennan Crane's local news coverage weekdays exclusively on WCLU Radio. Good Morning Live at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
The man receiving much of the credit for pursuing justice following Breonna Taylor's death is dead. Chris Wells was found dead in his apartment Sunday in Louisville. Sadiqa Reynolds of the Louisville Urban League tells WLKY the toll suffered throughout the process was tremendous.
You have nightmares sometimes. You sacrifice time with your family. I think that investment may have taken more out of so many of us.
Authorities say early indications are that Wells took his own life. Senator Rand Paul wants the government to find the origin of the COVID-19 virus. Paul tweeted yesterday with a link to his comments on the issue, saying he wants the Republican Party to investigate the disease more closely if they take control of the Senate in the November elections. There is alleged shared interest in the investigation among elected Republicans, including Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He added his thoughts on monkeypox, criticizing the Democrats for how they have handled the outbreak. Police in Jessamine County are thankful an anonymous donor who gifted a bulletproof vest to their police dog. The county has one canine officer called Macho Man, who police say is a beloved member of the community. The cost of a bulletproof vest can be more than $1,000, and the donation means funds can be used to buy other equipment for the unit. The vest will help protect Macho Man in his duties, which include drug searches and tracking suspects. The new school year at the University of Kentucky starts today. It's the first day of classes for students, including over 3,000 freshmen who were welcomed with last week's K-Week festivities. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
I'm a quiet nights at home kind of guy. The loudest thing in my house, my white noise machine. But one time a year, I feel the overwhelming need to rock and roll!
From horse shows to rides, games, food, concerts, exhibits, and more. This year's Kentucky State Fair has everything, so you can do your thing August 18th through 28th. Buy your tickets online and get free parking. Just go to kystatefair.org.
Hi, I'm Trooper Derek Combs with Kentucky State Police. When working traffic, you're driving Kentucky roads. There is so much out of your control. But what we do have control over is wearing a seatbelt. Less than 2 seconds. That's all the time it takes to buckle up. Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? It's not about writing tickets. It's about saving lives. Less than 2 seconds. That's all it takes. Please always buckle up.
A message from the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
It's important to know you can send unique designs at a price you can afford when you send a design created by Jeff's Country Florist. And if you can't seem to find that one-of-a-kind unique gift, then come see us at Jeff's Country Florist. These great designs and gifts are available for local delivery or in-store pickup. Stop by and browse our showroom at 4911 Scottsville Road in Glasgow. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, Saturdays, 9 till noon. Let's talk. 270-678-3575. There's only one Jeff's Country Florist.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend.
Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us.
Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
It is 6:29. You're listening to Good Morning Live from WCLU. We have a temperature reading downtown Glasgow right now of 65 degrees, and the visibility at the Glasgow airport is less than a quarter of a mile. We need to factor that into the morning commute, particularly at school time and particularly at the shift change here coming up at 7 o'clock. Very, very reduced visibility. Let's get on with that aggressively and make it a safe commute today. In-area funeral announcements this hour. Melvin Cecil Lemons, age 86, of Glasgow, died Saturday. Born in 1936, a son of the late Herbert and Lou Veda Smith Lemons, he worked for years as a crane operator in the boat building industry. Survivors include his wife, Violet Lemons of Glasgow, 3 daughters, Anna Lemons of Cave City, Debbie Evans and husband Phil Abel of Jeffersonville, Indiana, and Nancy Lemons of Glasgow. 1 son, Melvin C. Lemons, Jr. of Henryville, Indiana. Grandchildren, Cheyenne Irwin, Misty Thomas, Ricky Lee Evans, and Christina Runyon, and numerous great-grandchildren. The graveside service for Melvin Lemons will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the Beaumont Cemetery. McMurtry Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. The family of Joyce Ann White, age 69, of Munfordville, will receive friends from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock this Wednesday, August 24th, at the Brooks Funeral Home. Funeral services for Joyce will be Wednesday at the Brooks Funeral Home as well. Funeral service for Barbara Matthews, age 74, of Glasgow, will be at 2 o'clock Wednesday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, burial in the Poplar Log Cemetery. Visitation begins at 3 o'clock on Tuesday and then continues Wednesday morning. In lieu of flowers, the family request donations be made to the Kentucky Baptist Home for Children. The funeral service for Harold Lee Spear will be held at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, burial in the Happy Valley Memorial Gardens. Visitation is from 3 until 8 today, and then Tuesday morning until the funeral hour. In lieu of flowers, the family request donations be made to the Calvary Baptist Church. Funeral services for Beatrice Grayville Morris, age 82, of Brownsville, will be at 11 o'clock this morning at the Grayville Funeral Home, burial to follow in the Brownsville Cemetery. Visitation begins this morning at 9 a.m. Funeral services for Ricky G. House, age 58, of Beaver Dam, will be today at 1 o'clock at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home's Bowling Green Chapel. Burial will be in the Pink Grove Baptist Church Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation, everything, all the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky Monuments showed her the different options they have available, even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorial she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, the vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for less. Window World.
It is 6:34. We have 66 degrees. Good morning live. Let's turn to local sports. The Weldon Tennis Association is going to be sponsoring 2 tennis events at Gorin Park this week. Tomorrow evening, starting at 6 p.m., it's Ladies' Night. Games and drills will be held. Then on Thursday, starting at 6 p.m., will be the Community Tennis Night. Everybody's invited out for a fun night of fun tennis activity. Staff from USTA Kentucky will be on hand to direct the activities on Thursday. These events are free. They're coming up this week, sponsored by the Weldon Tennis Association. We'll be telling you much more. And the Birdies for the Boys and Girls Club 4-man golf scramble is taking place at Fox Hollow Golf Club at 8 o'clock this Friday morning. To register your team, you can call Mr. Wade Kopus this morning at 629-3871. And all the proceeds of the scramble will go toward brighter futures for the children of Barron County. That's a check of local sports.
Let me ask you something, partner. What are you doing for lunch? Surely you can do better than one of those fast food places or something that comes out of a brown bag. Come on over to Colton's Steakhouse and Grill. Lunch can be fun, tasty, affordable, and quick. Colton's has a special lunch menu. Steak, chicken, seafood, salad, sandwiches, and our Montana burger. Plus at lunch you get Colton's famous homemade yeast rolls. Now you got lunch plans. At Colton's, where we know what's at stake.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by Key Cleaners on Happy Valley Road in Glasgow.
Yes, and weather is a good part of the conversation here this morning because of the fact that we've got some heavy fog out there we want you to be aware of as you prepare to leave the house. Be sure and pay attention to the fog because the visibility is below a quarter of a mile at the Glasgow airport, and we are wanting to encourage you to be very, very careful as you travel. We hadn't had fog this thick in quite some length of time, so let's just be aware of that. Get where we're going safely today, and to do that, you're going to have a little more time than what you normally plan on here. So the forecast right now is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, but gradually becoming sunny. 84 degrees is going to be the high today. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low of 63. Sunny on Tuesday and 84. Tuesday night clear and 63. Wednesday sunny and 87. Now let's talk about the rain. You know, the fog here is because of the lower dew point and all the moisture in the air. We got 83/100ths of an inch of rain here at our studios yesterday. Over in Smiths Grove, they got half that, about 42/100ths. But then the further east and north you go, Edmonton got 1 inch and 61 yesterday. Munfordville got 1 inch and 85, and then up at E-Town, they got the most of just about 2 inches of rain here in the state of Kentucky. So it really does matter what cloud you luck out to be under, and it's just good to prepare for that as we go through the day. 66 degrees now at WCLU. This weather brought to you by Key Cleaners, Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. Regardless of the weather, Key Cleaner has your wardrobe ready.
Expanding export opportunities for U.S. farmers. Hello, I'm Kellen Havikin with Ag Headline News on Brownfield. Trade Ambassador Catherine Tai says the administration's focused on free, fair, and resilient trade and has been navigating a very tariff-rich environment.
At last count, there were over $20 billion worth of tariffs, most of them, I think, in agriculture and food, that we've either lifted or been able to avoid.
More news is next.
Fanny J Crosby wrote so many beautiful songs of the church. She wrote songs like Blessed Assurance, All the Way My Savior Leads Me, Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross. The list just keeps going. She wrote thousands of beautiful hymns. Fanny J Crosby, as a baby, contracted an eye infection and was treated poorly. She was left blind for the rest of her life. But as an 8-year-old child, she wrote this, "Oh, what a happy child I am. Although I cannot see, I am resolved that in this world contented I will be. How many blessings I enjoy that other people don't. So weep or sigh because I'm blind. I cannot, I won't." What an attitude. Sounds like Hebrews 13:5 to me, that we're to keep our life free from the love of money and be content with what we have because Jesus will never leave us. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
South Green Street Church of Christ, 306 South Green Street in Glasgow, 270-651-5409.
The USDA says the placements of cattle into U.S. feedlots in July moved higher because of widespread herd liquidation caused by drought in some major U.S. feeding areas. The total of 1.8 million head was up 2% on the year. Some cattle producers have changed their grazing strategies because of extended dryness. Don Cannell of Nebraska says he's rotating his herds faster to protect his grass.
It's coming back slowly, not as fast as you'd like.
Kansas State ag economist Guy Allen tells Brownfield's strength in the U.S. dollar because of domestic monetary policy is slowing down ag exports.
Fiscal policy and monetary policy with U.S. government, and they seem to be competing against each other a bit, which has a real negative impact on anything we're trying to export.
Director of Farmer and Retailer Services for Truterra, Mariah Murphy, says there's great carbon storage potential in Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana.
Those are typically where the farmers are getting a higher sequestration rate. That is where they are seeing a higher payout.
I'm Kellen Havikin on Brownfield Ag News.
Hello everyone, this is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one Raven fan at a time.
Hey, and we appreciate the sponsorship of Best One Tire of our morning ag report from Brownfield, kind of keeping you up to date on all things ag from every standpoint of view here on Good Morning Live, WCLU, just like we got to tell you who's celebrating birthdays today. From that standpoint, let's get rolling with that right here on WCLU. First things first, we need to tell you about Steve Emberton, who has a birthday today. Gary Hall celebrates. It is Chrissy Cole Fields. We have it on good authority that Chrissy Cole is got a double Nichols birthday today. Happy 55th to Chrissy Cole Fields today. Jose Carlos celebrates, so does Tess Bird, Leanne Hyde. Devin Williams is 22. Our very own Nikki Vitito has a birthday today. Rick Meek celebrates. Janet Jackson, Joe Burton Downing. Ms. Theresa Nelson celebrates. Jenny Wilson, happy birthday to you, Miss Jenny. Congratulations. One anniversary so far. It's early. We've got Stanley and Jean Wilson, and we understand that Stanley and Jean are celebrating their 56th, that's number 56 wedding anniversary today. I think that's everybody I have. We've had them coming at us from all directions here this morning, which is good. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here, really easy click at WCLUradio.com. Today, we are patting on the back by special request Devin Williams. It's Devin's birthday. Some folks said, could we arrange him to get patted on the back on his birthday? We were able to do that. So if you happen to see Devin Williams around, you do the same thing. Remind him he's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas, where they do know how to put on a celebration.
Everyone has the right to control their own future.
This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance companies will take advantage of you.
We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients.
We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition. If you suspect that your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, call Hughes & Coleman today.
Control starts with a call. 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others.
J. Marshall Hughes here with Hughes & Coleman Injury Lawyers. School's back in session. Buses are on the road, and children are walking to school. Please slow down and drive carefully. Keep our kids safe.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
66 degrees now, WCLU. Heavy, hefty fog out there. Be aware of that. There's going to be a healthy living exercise class today. It's from 1 until 2 at the Hart County Extension Office in Munfordville. Come out for fun and easy exercises. That's a good selling point for sure. We also have, coming up this week, Jamming on the Porch, Thursday evening, 6 until 9 at the Thomas House in downtown Horse Cave. It's a bluegrass jam session. You can bring your own acoustic instrument and jam in, or just stop by and enjoy the music. Public's invited. For information, call 270-218-0386. And coming up Thursday is your next opportunity to give the gift of life. The American Red Cross Blood Drive is going to be held at the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Glasgow from 1 until 6 Thursday afternoon. The church is located there at 104 Western Hills. We appreciate the update on that from the American Red Cross.
Spring is alive with warm sunshine, birds, and blooms. That means your ride is a wreck. Pollen and doo-doo damage to your paint job, to be exact. Look to Waterworks to protect your ride with affordable options for every budget. Sign up today and save money with Waterworks' monthly unlimited Splash Pass program. Good at all locations in Bowling Green and Glasgow. That's any Splash Pass Unlimited membership, including the $35 Splash Pass level of services with no limits. Unlimited means unlimited. And it all comes with complimentary towels, mat beater, window cleaner, and air purge. And it's not just money savings you get at Waterworks Express Wash in Glasgow. There's loads of perks for being a monthly Waterworks member. Their website or Facebook page has all the details you need. You won't find that level of sparkling clean and incredible perks anywhere else in the area. Spring in for the cleanest ride you can get at the new Waterworks Express Wash, now open in Glasgow at 1009 Happy Valley Road.
Waterworks!
We think it's a good time to reflect upon the wonderful things that have gotten us to where we are. It's called The Archives. It's a very popular program where we talk about 100 years worth of things that have gotten us to where we are. And Sam Terry, who is very well versed in all things historical, will join us. And we'll talk about it just in a second, right after our sponsors from Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
It is my pleasure to welcome Sam Terry to the airwaves this morning. Sam Terry, well-known historian, just an all-about-town guy. And Sam, you, as a person who loves history, you must be encouraged with the kind of turnout that the Cultural Center had for the unveiling of and the showing of all the photo works of one Adolph Rapp Friday night, sir.
Yes, that was a very nice event, and if you didn't make it, you missed something special, being able to meet Mr. Rapp's great-granddaughter and her daughter and son and their children as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great occasion, and all those photographs are still on display, so you still have plenty of time to go to the Cultural Center and see those. They're fascinating if you enjoy old pictures, and especially old pictures of Glasgow. It's a real treat, so be sure to see that.
Apparently he was quite the photographer. We know that from seeing the works of his labor around here, for sure.
We certainly do.
And using back then, very limited technology in terms of filters and all that sort of stuff, but he sort of pioneered a lot of that around here for sure. All right, and we appreciate the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center and the Historical Society and all those involved in making this happen for sure. Now let's go back to 1922. Speaking of history, while we're at it, let's go back to 100 years today in the Glasgow Times. And, you know, we do love our entertainment. We're going to be talking about Entertain Glasgow and other events going on all week long. But 100 years ago, guess what we were talking about, Sam? The Trig Theater has engaged the Novelty Syncopators, also known as Cole's Hot Blast Orchestra, for 2 weeks. I love that name, Cole's Hot Blast Orchestra. The Novelty Syncopators. This orchestra is well known all over this part of the state and has played several times in our city. Those who attend the Trig Theater during the engagement will find plenty of entertainment. The Trig also has a very appealing lineup of movie pictures for the next 2 weeks. The Isle of Zords is full of sensation, full of lavish beauty and thrills and romance. I mean, I don't know what else you could want in a movie, Sam,
exactly.
than what the Isle of Zords offered. Another great picture is Flashes of Action, a picture made by the U.S. Signal Corps. This is the first war picture ever shown here, and the American Legion is to be complimented on securing it. And then Always the Woman, featuring Betty Compton, is it's a romance of the desert. The story of a little American actress pitted against the ruthless cunning of an Egyptian sheik. Sounds thrilling.
High drama.
Always the Woman. And then, no matter which movie you saw, you were going to get the warm-up act, Cole's Hot Blast Orchestra. I bet that was some interesting to have a live orchestra at the theater when you went to the picture show. Of course, it was very competitive in that business in 1922 around here for sure, so they just really were cranking it all up, weren't they?
They certainly were. Sounds like fun.
All right. Novelty Syncopators it was. Let's go with some more entertainment here. In 1932, young singers of Glasgow and vicinity who aspire to musical careers will have an opportunity to make their dreams come true by enrolling with Mrs. Charles H. Shannon of Glasgow, who is the district chairman for the area of the 1932 National Radio Audition. The purpose of the audition is to select the most promising, naturally beautiful voices, and any young amateur singer between the ages of 18 and 25. So, if you like to sing and you want to maybe do so publicly here in 1932, this was kind of a neat way to get down there and show your skills, wasn't it?
Certainly was. And Flora Shannon was extremely well known for her vocal talent as well as her efforts to promote young people being in an entertainment-type business and using their talents. And several years ago, the Cultural Center featured her as one of the characters in the Harvest of History.
My goodness. That shows a lot. It shows how well-loved that she was. And the young people of this area, I'm sure, took full advantage of that. This day in 1942, there was a blanket appeal issued to Barron County, launched Monday afternoon for the donation of canned vegetables and fruits for the Sampson Community Hospital. The need is great. Commercially canned goods will go to soldiers and densely populated areas, leaving rural sections to rely on their own supply. Mayor Wynn Davis, the chairman of the hospital board, heartily endorsed the proposal that local civic organizations should appoint hospital committees in their different organizations to function in aiding the hospital with donated foods and in other ways in which it may aid the hospital. Sounds like, getting canned goods to feed patients at the hospital with all of the food going to more populated areas and the war efforts. They needed the locals to kick in, and I'm sure in 1942 we did.
Without a doubt. And as I think we've read in this decade of the archives, the summer of 42 was a very bountiful crop of vegetables and that sort of thing, and that there was a lot of effort made to encourage people to can and preserve all that they could and share with the hospital, plus share fresh vegetables as well.
And you know how easy of a call is that to do what you can when we had so many people that were already good at that around here, for sure. I love this story. In 1952, listen carefully, the headline in the Glasgow Times reads this: "A brother team of Glasgow is pounding the commies in Korea." What's he talking about? Well, a brother act from Glasgow, perhaps one of the most unusual on the Korean front, is giving the Reds trouble these days in the current mountain of fighting. The brothers are First Lieutenant Rondell R. Oliver and Master Sergeant William J. Oliver. They are the sons of Mrs. Nettie Oliver. They serve in the 623rd Field Artillery Battalion as a part of the 10th Corps. They are specialists in giving the communists a special Barron County 1-2 punch. Now, Lieutenant Oliver is an aerial observer, and Sergeant Oliver is an operations sergeant. Rondell flies over enemy targets in a light plane, picking out targets and correcting artillery fire. Brother Bill gets the word by radio from Rondell and passes it over to the guns. From information received from Korea earlier this month, the Glasgowians' performance is one the Reds do not like, since it has proved particularly effective in accurate artillery firing. What about that? Two Glasgow brothers over there in Korea. Lieutenant Rondell Oliver, many folks knew Mr. Oliver as Soup Oliver, and his brother William J. Oliver were both fighting the Koreans over there in 1952, and the Koreans had made notice of that. That's the way the story reads, right, Sam?
Certainly. An amazing story.
That's right. And I believe Lieutenant Oliver went on to serve as the commander of the 623rd for a time here in Glasgow. Is that not correct?
I believe you may be correct. And Sergeant William J. Oliver is now a retired physician in Louisville.
Okay. Well, you just good folks. Good family name, and boy, they went over there and gave it all when they were fighting the Reds, as the newspaper article mentions here, in 1952. 1962, the Glasgow Republican reports that J.H. Tulla, T.C. Walbert, and E.J. Myers were appointed Monday by County Judge James Gillenwater as a three-man board of commissioners to work on the condemnation of 6 pieces of property which will be needed to construct a bypass. How about that? Owners of the land, Gladys Jackson, Patricia and Beverly Louise Jackson, Wes and Gertie V. Estes, William H. Grissom, Ed Howe, H.E. and Brenda Davidson, J.E. and Ruth Ensminger, Zona Rich, and Charlie and Myrtle Kendall. Those are the people who own the land that the government needed to purchase in order to build the bypass. And I do not remember Mr. Tulla, but I do remember Mr. Walbert and Mr. Myers, and they were get-it-done sort of folks, for sure, Sam.
Certainly, and I believe Mr. Tulla was the longtime manager of the J.J. Newberry establishment here on the north side of the square.
Yes, I've seen that name associated in some of the archives articles. But that was part of growth in 1962. We needed a bypass, and we needed somebody to go out there and make it sounds bad, but it's how it's done, the condemnation of 6 pieces of property so that they could be used for the bypass. And however they did it, they got it worked out, Sam, 1962.
And what a change it made in Glasgow.
That's right, that's right. And I just hope folks are paying attention, because the fog is still out there on the bypass a little bit this morning. Be aware of that. Let's do some more news of servicemen here. We talked about the Oliver brothers, but here we go. In 1972, area servicemen Donnie Barton, Phyllis L. Thompson, Charles P. Knuckles, William M. Eubank, Billy B. Ward, Jack H. Sims, Philip A. Rankin, Raymond Wilson, Jr., Larry S. Hurt, William M. Thomason, James R. Simmons, Merle T. Coe, Floyd E. Walker, Jr., David M. Boyd, Larry K. Frost, Henry B. Garnett, and Winford E. Bush. Those are listed in the Glasgow Times as area servicemen serving their country and thereby serving their community here in 1972. That's one of the larger lists that I have seen, Sam, published routinely in the Glasgow Times. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. I would agree, and we certainly appreciate their service.
No question about it. 1982, the news is that William L. Cox celebrated his 97th birthday on August the 8th at the home of his son, Mr. and Ms. Leo Cox of Austin. He has 4 sons and 2 daughters living, 12 grandchildren, 30 great-grandchildren, and 13 great-great-grandchildren. I bet it was a great 97th celebration for Mr. William Cox here in 1982. Probably well attended. Okay, 1992, the news is that Carhartt, a garment manufacturing plant, announced that there's going to be a new facility employing 300 to 400 people that would locate in Glasgow. The Michigan-based company will make work clothing. An industrial announcement, which is always good news there, from 1992. It was Carhartt coming to town.
A nice addition to the city, and still contributing to the city.
Yes, no question about it. 2002, this was in the Barron County Progress. Tombstone Energy recently selected the Farmers RECC area as the location for shooting a national commercial. The homes of Tim and Kelly Beals and Wade and Terry Barton and the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. That has to be a good commercial using those 3 well-known locations here for the Tombstone Energy folks. Not familiar with that commercial, but nonetheless, I'm sure it was a good commercial.
Yes, we'd like to see that.
And finally here in 2012, the news is that Mammoth Cave is going to celebrate International Bat Night. International Bat Night on August the 25th. That has nothing to do with a baseball game. Schedule activities during the day and at dusk, which is the prime time for seeing bats. So come on over there to the Mammoth Cave National Park, celebrating International Bat Night 10 years ago, August the 25th. And, you know, pretty interesting creatures, I would say. And probably over at Mammoth Cave, you could learn a whole lot about them for sure.
Oh, undoubtedly, and as I recall, that turned out to be a big event. Indeed. Very popular at the park.
Well, there we have it. We've gone back 100 years in the archives today, Sam, and we have seen a lot of interesting things. We can go down and watch the Syncopators and see a show, or we can go check out the bats. And we can always congratulate our servicemen and women. It's what we've done for 100 years. Appreciate you being here with all of this extra information and all the research that you do for us each and every day here, Sam.
Well, it's always a pleasure. And we got more to come.
That's right. We're going to be on a roll this week for sure. That is the Archives, brought to you today by your friends at Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. History is made by the hard work that stands the test of time.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep. Having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region, we are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fog is the issue this morning. It's, we do have a travel advisory from the standpoint of fog goes because reduced visibility. We're going to try to burn it off, but it's going to take sun and a little warmer temperatures to burn that fog off. So got to be patient and observe it here this morning. 20% chance of a thunder shower and gradually becoming sunny and a high of 84 today. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low of 63. Tuesday, sunny and 84. Tuesday night, clear and 63. Wednesday, sunny and 87. Barometer's down at 29.99. I'll talk about the rain shower activity again. In the Glasgow rain gauge, we got 83 hundredths from them yesterday. Up at Munfordville, an inch and 85 hundredths. An inch more up in Munfordville, Kentucky. Over in Edmonton, they got an inch and 61 hundredths. So it is a, I guess that does define scattered when you talk about showers. 66 WCLD weather brought to you by your friends at South Central Bank.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or your hips or your back, especially this time of the year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce for the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. 270-974-4500.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Anderson Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Anderson Windows. Come home to Anderson.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary. WCLU, Boutique Unique, and the Haywood Valley Farm wants to help you grill and chill in style. It's Grillin' and Chillin' with your chance to win a huge prize package valued at over $1,300, including a brand new gas grill, an Arctic hardside cooler, a $100 car and truck tire care kit, a 28-inch Blackstone griddle, $150 in Haywood Valley Farm's premium beef, a Fireline knife, and $50 Fireline gift card, and much, much more. Stop by and register to win at any of our Grillin' and Chillin' sponsors in Glasgow, including Boutique Unique and Haywood Valley Farms, 302 Happy Valley Road, Fireline Guns and Knives at 1207 West Main Street, Southern Kentucky Tire Pros, 1004 Happy Valley Road, Barren River Beverages at 1668 Burkesville Road. Enter by 12 noon September 1st. Grand prize drawing 2 p.m. September 1st at Boutique Unique in Haywood Valley Farms. Grillin' and chillin' from Fireline Guns and Knives for all of your outdoor needs and the best coffee and candles you can find. Haywood Valley Farms with locally raised superior quality Midwestern finished beef. Taste the difference. And WCLU. See complete contest rules at WCLUradio.com. Click contests.
Let's play trivia, and we got a question for you, and we got a pizza for you. All you need is an answer. Here we go, 651-9149, 800-956-1023. I thought I would have some fun this week. I've got I have stacks of stuff, you know. I'm a stacker, I guess. I am going to go this week on the theme of difficult questions that I have been saving. You know, I'll find a question. I'll say, that would be a good question. And I say, wait a minute, is that too hard? And I'll throw it out. And I'll say, wait a minute, we got smart folks here. We might just use this. This week, I'm going to use difficult questions that I've been saving from my save stack. All right, here we go. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Difficult questions we've been saving. Here's this morning's. What are you afraid of if you suffer from Chrono Metrophobia? You have a bad case of Chrono Metrophobia. What is it that you are afraid of? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Some folks want to give it a stab. Hello, Trivia.
Cameras.
No, it's not right. You have a fear of what if you suffer from Chrono Metrophobia? I have a fear of not being able to operate the phone right now. Trivia.
Time.
No, that's not right. Trivia.
Large cities.
No, it's not right. Chrono Metrophobia. What are you afraid of? Trivia.
The fear of timepieces like clocks and watches.
That's it. Who is this speaking?
This is Emmy Forrester.
Now, see, that's the thing. Somebody, Emmy, called up and said time. Well, it's not the fear of time. It's deep.
Although that can be a scary thing.
That's right, it is. But it's deeper than that. If you're afraid of a clock, if you're afraid of a watch, you know, like I don't know we do have clock watchers and watch watchers, and there's probably, you know, some folks just have this fear of clocks. Sometimes clocks, you know, Emmy, can make racket.
That's true.
And they sound pretty, you know, I don't have a fear of my alarm going off. I have most of the time, just a dread that it will.
True. I think everybody's with you. I wonder what they call people like that.
I don't know, just you're lazy or something. But nonetheless, it is true. If you've been diagnosed there, Emmy, with Chrono Metrophobia, you are suffering from something that is, let me find from my stack over here. I got the rest of the stack. It reads on the back here. It says, Chrono Metrophobia. This term is related linguistically and in meaning to chronophobia, which is the fear of time or the passage of time. But, of course, that's the fear of time. But you got to have the whole word here, Chrono Metrophobia, that you're actually scared of the watch or the clock. All right, so you won a hard one right here, Emmy Forrester. Hang on, I'll get your address. And are you going to be on time today?
Hey, I don't know. We'll see.
You going to be watching the clock?
Probably.
No, you need to be watching the fog. That's what you need to be watching, is the fog.
And I will do that carefully.
Very good. Hang on, let me get your address. All right.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Emmy Forrester, it is true that if you suffer from, I have to look at it to pronounce it, Chrono Metrophobia, you're afraid of a timepiece. You're afraid of a clock. And now you know. We'll play tomorrow. Won't you come back?
Good morning from Forever Communications. WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News Brief. The Justice Department has until Thursday to redact sensitive information from the affidavit that set off the search at Mar-a-Lago. Ohio Republican Mike Turner.
What's important about this affidavit is it will give us the information to understand how did the FBI justify raiding Mar-a-Lago and spending 9 hours in the president's house.
From extreme heat to drenching rain, KRLD meteorologist Tom Hale with today's outlook for Texas.
With the heavy rains from this storm, Texas motorists are going to need to embrace turn around, don't drown. 3 inches of rapidly moving water can take their truck downstream.
A violent arrest caught on video in Arkansas appears to show a man being violently attacked by police officers. KFSM TV's Micah Wilson.
The suspect, he is currently in the Crawford County Jail on multiple charges, including terroristic threatening and aggravated assault.
1 officer is on leave, 2 deputies suspended pending an investigation. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Get glowing for your wedding day and have picture-perfect skin with the help of the experts at R Plus Med Spa. They prioritize a tailored approach, starting with a complimentary bridal consultation to share any skin concerns you have as you prepare for your big day. This is also perfect for the mother of the bride, the groom, and your bridal party. R Plus Med Spa, 210 Shane Drive in Glasgow. Call 270-651-4SPA and schedule your complimentary bridal consultation today.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, August 22nd, 2022. I'm Brennan Crane. Welcome into WCLU Local News. Time is 7:13 at 66 degrees. Well, if you've stumbled outside this morning, perhaps you're on the road, you see that there is a bit of a thick fog out there. We have improved, though, in the last hour. This time, last hour, well, it was even more visibility that was reduced. But looks like now we have increased our visibility a little bit, but still dense fog out there. If you're looking toward the horizon, you just see fog. You don't even see anything this morning, hardly. So keep that in mind as you're traveling around on your commute today. Looks like this should clear out about 9 o'clock this morning. And as we head through the day, we are going to have mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of sun peeking through, and about a high of 84 today. The rest of the week does look good, though, mostly sunny. Highs will be in the upper 80s, still a little bit warm as we are winding down the month of August already. Well, the Glasgow City Council is expected to meet this evening. They're going to be meeting at 7 o'clock there in the Glasgow City Council chambers, and they have quite the agenda this evening. First, that logo that was released by the Strategic Planning Committee of the City of Glasgow couple of weeks ago, that's going to be up for consideration this evening in the form of an ordinance. City Council members will be hearing an ordinance to accept the use of the City of Glasgow's logo as presented from Chandler Thinks. Now, if you remember, that's that Franklin, Tennessee-based marketing firm that was hired by the City Council to complete a branding and logo for the City of Glasgow. Mr. Steve Chandler, who is the proprietor of Chandler Thinks, is expected to present the branding logo information this evening to the council. Also on the agenda is that highly talked about piece of property that is up for sale, perhaps. That's going to be on the agenda this evening. The City Council will be hearing that in the form of a resolution, and that's a resolution for the City of Glasgow to accept the option to purchase agreement from Barron County magistrates to purchase land. Now, you might be asking, what is this about? Well, last week, the Barron Fiscal Court passed unanimously, except for the support of the Judge Executive, to entertain the City of Glasgow for a portion of its property along West Main Street. Now, last week, we could not get confirmation about where this property was exactly, but given information in tonight's City Council agenda meeting packet, we've now confirmed that that is the portions of property there along West Main Street between the post office and the Dollar General store, and that even extends back toward the Department of Public Works parking lot. Now, if you're watching with us on EPB Channel 6 or Facebook or YouTube, you can see an aerial view of that, an aerial view showing each of those portions of property. That resolution for the City of Glasgow this evening saying that whereas the City of Glasgow owns property in the city that has become essential to the magistrates of the Barron County Fiscal Court, therefore a 180-day option to purchase agreement with the City of Glasgow to build a judicial center has been proposed. And whereas the City of Glasgow will retain from tract G172 0.68 acres that is marked as a fenced-in area, it is not part of this transaction. Therefore, they'll be only selling 4.418 acres. Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved by the City of Glasgow that the Glasgow City Council does hereby agree to accept the proposal of option to purchase from the Barron County magistrates in this resolution. Now, of course, again, this is a resolution, and keep in mind that the City Council, this is on their agenda this evening. So in no way have they accepted this. In no way has it been presented to them yet in the official form of a meeting. So keep that in mind when you're hearing this. We are not saying that this portion of property is sold, nor will council members agree to that. We really don't know. Now, if you remember, there's also a competing project in that location, and for the longest time now, that has been a downtown park. Supporters of a downtown park here in Glasgow have eyed that piece of property that's directly across the street from Green Mechanical. WCLU News spoke to Wes Simpson, who has spearheaded that project, and here's what he had to say about if that portion of property is sold.
On paper, it would seem that it would be gone. The project would be done. Nobody knows what the county's plans are with buying more than what they need, because I do remember the magistrate said they didn't want anything to do with a park. So I'm just going off of that they don't want a park. So if they own it, I assume the downtown park project as we know it is done.
Now, of course, this project has been going on for about 3 years. Simpson originally presenting that to the council in July of 2019. Park supporters have rallied, according to some recent posts made on social media, that they expect to be at that council meeting this evening. Now, again, it's unclear what exactly is going to happen, whether the city council will agree to sell that portion of property. And here's the speculation. The city of Glasgow owns all of this property that we just showed you there on television. And better yet, Barron Fiscal Court is seeking to buy up quite a bit of that property. Now, members of the PDB confirmed to WCLU that they do not necessarily need all of that property that magistrates are seeking to purchase. They've only described about 2.5 acres needed for that complete judicial center project. Simpson says that if that project does go through, he says that he expects the downtown park project will be over. His message to council members:
don't forget, you've spent the time, the resources, the money for the strategic plan. You've spent money on the RFP. All these people have volunteered this time. The community showed up to support this project. Don't let that be clouded by an offer to buy it without a plan for the park to be there. I think the community has shown it wants the park. It made its voice known in the listening sessions for the strategic plan. It's made its voice known at committee meetings and council meetings. Don't forget those things. Think about the future. Think about young folks and what do young folks want to be able to stay here. They want places to interact. They want things to do. I think that's what I would tell them is let's finish this process out. Let's not just cut this off and throw away everything that has been worked towards for 3 years or more now.
Also on that agenda this evening, the City Council will be reading on the first reading an ordinance to add 2 police officers to the Glasgow Police Department for the next fiscal year. Police Chief Jennifer Arbogast sending a letter to the mayor describing that it is of critical need to add 2 additional officers due to the changing habits of law enforcement nowadays, saying that officers are having to respond to more incident calls, critical incident calls specifically. Glasgow's call volume is very high for an agency our size, she says in that letter. Again, that meeting is slated for 7 o'clock this evening. That'll be live on the Glasgow Electric Plant Board's YouTube page and, of course, Channel 6. Glasgow police say they arrested 2 people last week after a vehicle pursuit that happened Thursday. An officer observed a vehicle on Park Avenue traveling through that residential area at a high rate of speed and driving reckless. Police say that officer attempted to conduct a traffic stop. However, the vehicle refused to stop and traveled along New Salem Road before turning onto Beaver Creek Road and came to an abrupt stop. Now, the driver was later identified as Brandon Shaw. He apparently placed his vehicle in reverse and began to travel at Officer Harden at a high rate of speed and attempted to strike the police cruiser. Shaw failed to strike the vehicle and sped off again. He traveled into Metcalfe County, got onto the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Expressway and traveled eastbound. State police troopers were able to successfully deploy spike strips on the suspect's vehicle. A short time later, that vehicle finally getting stopped in Adair County. Officers later confirming that Shaw did not have a valid driver's license. He was non-compliant with the sex offender registry list and had active warrants. Officers also alleged that they found methamphetamine and a syringe inside that vehicle. Shaw of Park City is charged with a slew of charges, including failure to comply with the sex offender registry, wanton endangerment, reckless driving, and first-degree assault of a police officer. Pamela Stinnett of Glasgow, she was also arrested in connection to that incident. Well, remember, as children return to school, AAA East Central has launched its annual Schools Open Drive Carefully campaign. Keep in mind that this hour, students are getting on and off of school buses, and particularly in the county where there's reduced visibility with hills and all of that sort of thing. Keep in mind that you need to take it a little slow. There are going to be students in the area. Now, here are some recommendations for you, especially if you're traveling through those school zones, especially where there are officers directing traffic. Keep this in mind. Ditch those distractions. Research shows that glancing away from the road for just 2 seconds, that's going to double your chance of crashing. Of course, stay alert. Brake for buses. Watch for bikes. Plan ahead. And look for AAA school safety patrollers. Again, those are all across the region, all across the country. And remember our local law enforcement, too, that are standing in the roadway directing traffic at our local schools, especially here in the city. You're listening to WCLU Local News. It's 7:22, 66 degrees. We'll be right back.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance.
The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes.
But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep, having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region. We are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. 7:24 now, 66 degrees. It's great to have you with us today. Foggy out there this morning, and we are looking ahead toward the day. Mostly cloudy. The sun will peek through at some times. We do have a high of about 84 degrees today, so looks like it is going to be a fairly nice day. The rest of the week looks sunny with highs in the upper 80s, so a bit warm. And as we trek through the week, we see a slight chance of showers coming into the forecast by Thursday. Looks like by next weekend that's going to linger around, and maybe that'll pick up or dissipate. We'll let you know either way here this week. The Glasgow Police Department says they'll be participating in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign, which is now running through September 5th. This Labor Day weekend, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Office of Highway Safety is joining the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and law enforcement across the nation in reminding drivers to drive sober or get pulled over. Now, while law enforcement officers do patrol for impaired drivers year-round, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that impaired driving-related crashes tend to increase during that Labor Day holiday period. According to the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, last year in the state, there were 4,670 total crashes involving an impaired driver. Those resulted in 2,187 injuries and 194 deaths. If you're impaired, do use a ride booking company, taxi, call a sober friend or family member, or use public transportation to get home safely if you can. If you see an impaired driver, be sure to contact law enforcement. You can contact KSP at the toll-free line 1-800-222-5555, or, of course, you can call 911. Glasgow police say they will have extra units out on the roadways through that September 5th time period to ensure that drivers are in compliance with traffic safety laws. And perhaps you've been hearing about that scare at the state fair over the weekend. Authorities say 9 people have been arrested at the state fair. That closed early Saturday night after suspicious activity was reported to law enforcement. Kentucky State Police said in a statement that the fair began a soft close at about 10 p.m. to ensure the safety of attendees. Police say there were no reported injuries. Police say the initial investigation shows that a group of people apparently caused panic with noise-making devices, leading fairgoers to believe shots had been fired. Investigators have found no physical evidence that a weapon was fired, and that investigation, it is ongoing. 7:26, 66 degrees. Have a great Monday. I'm Brennan Crane.
Late sleepers everywhere are demanding breakfast until noon on weekends. Well, hit that snooze button because Hardee's is extending breakfast hours until noon. And now you can celebrate it with the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal. Imagine eating your choice of a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy all before midday on the weekends. The late sleepers have spoken. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day. Price of participation may vary.
Everyone has the right to control their own future.
This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance companies will take advantage of you.
We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients.
We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition. If you suspect that your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, call Hughes and Coleman today.
Control starts with a call. 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others.
J. Marshall Hughes here with Hughes and Coleman Injury Lawyers. School's back in session. Buses are on the road, and children are walking to school. Please slow down and drive carefully. Keep our kids safe.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Good morning live, WCLU 728. We always enjoy company right here. One of our favorites, Miss April Russell. She wears a lot of hats for the city of Glasgow, the Department of Public Works, et cetera, et cetera. She's also on the Entertain Glasgow Committee. But today, she is here to pass along some good news for small businesses in our community. April, good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning.
You doing okay?
I'm doing very well this morning.
Well, let's see. You've got, April came in with paperwork today. Because
I did.
She's got an announcement about something big that the community is going to thoroughly be happy about. Go ahead.
Yes, so we're going to start today our second round of the Small Business Grant Relief Program. So it opens up today. The deadline to get your paperwork in is September 16th at noon.
Okay.
When you get that paperwork done, I want you to bring it to my office at 310 West Front Street.
Okay.
The application, you will be able to find it on the city's website, and we'll send it to the media and stuff, and they can link to it also if they would like to. So it's a lot like the last time we're going to do it. It's up to $10,000. You know, this is to help with those non-essential businesses that are still having trouble. We still want to help them bounce back. You know, anything from supply issues to, you know, employee issues, just whatever it is, we want to be able to help them bounce back. This was one of the things the mayor wanted to do, and so we are getting it done. Again, you'll be able to find that application on the city's website. It opens today. It closes September the 16th at noon. When you bring that in, make sure you seal that envelope. You put what it is on the front of it. All the information is in the application. If you have any questions, you can call me 270-651-5977.
You don't call yourself a lot, do you?
Oh, I know.
Well, here's the thing. This is a really neat deal for people. You know, I guess people in small business, they've held on. They've done what they can do. Yes, a lot need help, and this is an opportunity to help a lot of those who have weathered the storm, April.
Yes, absolutely. This is for, you know, your brick and mortar businesses that are in the city. You know, you can't, it's not for franchise businesses. But you're going to have your business license, your City of Glasgow business license. You're going to have to provide that you have done your property taxes, your payroll taxes. Did you operate before March 1st, 2021? Things to that nature are important to us. Like I said, all the information is going to be in that application. Any question you have, you can call me. I'll give you that number again, 270-651-5977.
And they bring it to your office?
Yes, bring it at 310 West Front Street. If you don't want to call me, you can email me at grants@glasgow-ky.com, and I'll be happy to talk with anybody about it. We're super excited to be able to do this again.
Well, that's wonderful. It's wonderful you're able to do this because, you know, even though I've been excited about seeing, you know, growth in downtown businesses and activity going on with downtown businesses, but, you know, we can't declare everything back to normal or everything repaired, and I think that it's good that the city is moving forward with making this opportunity,
Yes,
April.
and we want to sustain our small businesses, you know, support them any way we can.
That's right. So go online, get that application. All the answers are there, and all you have to do is fill it out. And right over here in Front Street, to take it over there. And the deadline again is?
It is September the 16th at noon.
Okay, all right. So anything else you want to talk about this morning?
Do we want to talk about Saturday?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's talk about it. This Saturday, Beaver Creek Park, it's Household Hazardous Waste Free Shredder Day, 9 a.m. to noon. This is a big day, always in the community. Anything you need shredded, they'll do it right there on the spot. All the people that have called me about what do I do with this, what do I do with that, anything from fluorescent light bulbs to whatever you have in your garage, this is the time. Get it done, bring it to us. You can also bring your old prescription drugs. They will take them there also. So we prefer this is for the citizens of Glasgow.
Okay.
Businesses really clog it up.
Sure.
Well, this is actually for anybody in Barron County.
Okay.
So we'll take it. It's not just city residents.
Right.
But bring your shredder stuff out. Bring your old documents out. It's supposed to be a beautiful week. I'm super excited about it.
Sure.
And again, if you have any questions about that, call Public Works.
Yeah.
Anybody down there can answer that for you.
And this is a really nice flyer that you brought me, and I'm presuming this would be on the city website too
It's
somewhere.
on the city website. I think you guys have a copy of it. We've sent it out to everybody so
Right.
that they find what you can bring, what you can't bring, things like that.
I think it's the best from the standpoint of listening to things that aren't accepted and are accepted. It's the best list I've ever seen. You know, you learn over the years, and this is really helpful in figuring out what I should bring and what I should not bring,
You know, keeping this stuff out of the sinkholes, keeping this stuff out of the landfill, all of that is the goal, and that is why we do it. And this is actually done with a grant, so this doesn't cost the city anything. Super excited about that. We get that grant every year from the Division of Waste, and happy to be able to provide that service.
Use it for good purposes. Okay,
Yes.
one more time. If he wants to call you today, what's the number?
270-651-5977.
She'll answer it on the first ring, won't you?
I'll try.
Okay. All right. April Russell with the Department of Public Works here. A couple of pieces of good news, and we appreciate you coming by. And we'll talk later in the week, April, about the downtown square and the Entertain Glasgow event. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
it
you.
is 7:34 WCLU. Coming right back, we'll check sports, and we'll have our banking on business.
Stock number NY268101, MSRP 22,535. All incentives to dealer plus tax, title, and license. See dealer for details. Not all may qualify. Offer ends 8/1/22. Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Nissan in Glasgow. Get up to $1,500 cash back on select 22 Nissan models, starting as low as $22,535. Hurry in and score big today at Don Franklin Nissan in Glasgow.
Let's turn to local sports. The Weldon Tennis Association is going to be sponsoring 2 tennis events at Gorin Park this week. Tomorrow evening, starting at 6 p.m., it's Ladies' Night. Games and drills will be held. Then on Thursday, starting at 6 p.m., will be the Community Tennis Night. Everybody's invited out for a fun night of fun tennis activity. Staff from USTA Kentucky will be on hand to direct the activities on Thursday. These events are free. They're coming up this week, sponsored by the Weldon Tennis Association. We'll be telling you much more. And the Birdies for the Boys and Girls Club 4-man golf scramble is taking place at Fox Hollow Golf Club at 8 o'clock this Friday morning. To register your team, you can call Mr. Wade Kopus this morning at 629-3871. And all the proceeds of the scramble will go toward brighter futures for the children of Barron County. And that's a check of local sports.
This is Melissa Carey, the new Vice President with the People's Bank. With life, we are met with daily challenges. Some are easy, while others may be more challenging. No matter the change, we at the People's Bank understand and want to help you. If you are looking for a change in banking, look no further. The People's Bank are experienced bankers ready to meet you with all of your financial needs. I look forward to serving my community. We are working for you. The People's Bank, working for you, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Terry Bennett with the People's Bank, and welcome to another segment of Banking on Business. This morning, we're at From My Closet to Yours at 202 North Green Street in Glasgow. Now with Amy Reese. Amy, welcome to today's program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're more than welcome. Great to be in the shop today.
Thank you.
Now, when I came in the front door, I'm telling you, I'm seeing a little bit of everything, Amy.
We have a little...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. We do have a little bit of everything for everyone, every size, every style.
Right.
Not just clothing, household goods, furniture, to kid supplies for school. So yes, we have a little bit for everybody.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about this business. You're just not new to this business, right?
No, I'm not. I have been doing this for 18 years.
18 years,
I'm very blessed to be still in the business for 18 years after COVID, you know, kind of put a hurt on everybody.
Right.
But yes, we have been in Glasgow for 14 years. I started in Metcalfe, little community Noblick, for 4 years. Moved to Glasgow about 14 years ago, and altogether been open for 18 years now.
Right. Now, how long have you been at this location? This is a new location. So
this
how long
is my
have you been
new
here?
location. We opened here 5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago.
We have so much more space.
Right.
It's easier for our customers to shop.
Right.
So I encourage everybody to come check us out, especially back to school.
Now, Amy, you're open. What are your hours here now?
Okay, so we're open Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and Saturday is 10 to 3.
All right, 10 to 3. So we got 6 days a week. We come in. Now, what are people shopping for these days?
Well, you know, the economy is getting pretty expensive to live.
It is.
So I think everybody's looking for a bargain first off, you know.
Right.
So we try to have affordable clothing from shoes to backpacks back to school. I mean, there's so much in here.
Now, people find out about you on a Facebook page?
I do have my personal Facebook page, Amy Reese, and then also we post on our business page, From My Closet to Yours.
Okay.
And we usually post about 5 or 6 times a day of the new daily merchandise that we get in, so nobody's really missing anything.
Right.
And they can call and be like, hey, hold this until I get off work. And yeah.
So we got to get people to come in and see what you got.
Yes, yes. If they have never been here before, I do not think they will be disappointed. Because, like I said, besides we carry clothes from preemie to baby to 5X, men and women's. So we're not just women's or children's clothing. You know, we have just everything: dishes, bedding, furniture, just a little bit of everything.
The people got to come check you out.
They have to come check me out. They're missing out if they haven't been here.
Exactly. Well, Amy, thanks for being on our program today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you being in Glasgow, being in our community.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business, being with Amy Reese here at From My Closet to Yours at our new location at 202 North Green Street in Glasgow. You got to check her out on Facebook page. Come by the store. A lot of merchandise. Merchandise, as you said, Amy, changes daily, several times during the day.
Yes, several times. We're putting out, usually I come in a few hours before I open. So we're putting out from about 6:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning until we leave.
All right. There you go. Again, appreciate you watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business.
Up here in South Central Kentucky, it's kind of neat to learn about that, and we look forward to having another edition of Banking on Business. It's made possible by the People's Bank. It is 7:40, 20 minutes before top of the hour. 8 o'clock. I'm going to get over here. I want to go ahead and get the birthday anniversary list up and running today. I just learned James Coates' granddaughter, Irea Deskins, that's Irea Deskins, is turning 5 today. Did I say that right? All right. Yeah, James is giving me the thumbs up. And we also have Steve Emberton with a birthday today. And we got Gary Hall. Chrissy Cole Fields is 55. Jose Carlos. Tess Bird. Leanne Hyde. Devin Williams is 22. Our very own Nikki Vitito has a birthday. Rick Meek. Janet Jackson. Joe Burton Downing. Theresa Nelson celebrates. Jenny Wilson celebrates today, too. And it's the 56th wedding anniversary for, let's see, Stanley and Jean Wilson. Stanley and Jean Wilson with their 56th wedding anniversary. Congratulations. 651-9149. 800-956-1023. And online here, it's a really easy click at WCLU radio.com. Today, by special request, it's Devin Williams Day on the radio. He's got a birthday, and I said, well, can we get him patted on the back on his birthday? And yes, we're able to do that. So if you happen to see Devin Williams around town today, remind him he's good as gold from his friends here at WCLU and a little taste of Texas, where they do know how to celebrate any occasion. They just do it the Texas way.
Weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards and Private Caregiver Referral Services. When roles reverse in later years, when child becomes caretaker, when the needs of a parent become most important, it's comforting to know there is help along the way. Sometimes our elders just need a little company and companionship, and it's our duty to see that those needs are met, whether at home, assisted living, or a nursing home facility. Peggy and her network of compassionate caregivers are ready to meet you and your loved one's needs. Call 670-7062.
In the WCLU Forecast Center, the visibility has improved a bit. We're almost up to about a half a mile of visibility out to Glasgow Airport, and that's going to very quickly improve. Of course, we got to have the sun up to dry out the air, to get rid of the moisture, to make it where we can see through the air. That's what's got to happen, and there's no way to speed that up. So what you got to do is you got to plan ahead, and hopefully we've had a safe commute to school and a safe commute to work. And let's just go ahead and look at the way the forecasters see it from this point forward. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, then gradually becoming sunny today, and a high of 84. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low of 63. A sunny day on Tuesday, a high of 84. Tuesday night will be clear, down to 63. Another sunny day on Wednesday, and 87. Now, as far as the rain gauge goes, we had 8/300 of an inch of rain in our bucket here. Neighbors in the neighborhood had a lot more. Munfordville got an inch and 8/500. Edmonton got an inch and 6/100, and E-Town got darn near 2 inches. So it just depends on where you were and how much you needed. That's the way it worked out. 67 WCLU Good Morning Live Weather, brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards, Private Caregiver Referral Services. And you can call her if you want to talk about her services at 670-7062.
Good morning, friends. The Bible states that God loves the world enough to give his Son to die for mankind. He's promised that he will forgive and save all who come to him in confession and obedience to the gospel. You can trust the promises of God. He does not change nor back up. Satan would destroy each of us. He often tempts us to doubt God's promises and God's goodness. However, Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil and give life to all who believe on his name and accept his truth. When we believe on the Christ, determine to turn to him in a spirit of repentance and confession of our unworthiness, and submit to baptism into Christ, then we can rest assured that Christ receives us into his kingdom. This kingdom cannot be shaken, the devil cannot win, and the love and power of God will protect you from the evil one. We will not be perfect in our lives by our own power, but we will be protected by our Lord, continually cleansed and finally saved through the shed blood of our Savior. That's good news every day.
The just because deal. Hey, oh, what's this?
Breakfast from Mickey D's.
From me?
Yep.
Why?
'Cause it's morning and you like McDonald's. Let's eat while it's hot.
There's a deal for every act of kindness at McDonald's.
Right now, get a sausage biscuit and hash browns pairing for just $2.50. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. From 6-week certificates to 2- or 4-year degrees. There's an option for you. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or your hips or your back, especially this time of the year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce for the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery.
Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. 270-974-4500. All right, I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to the Barn Lot Theater. What's he talking about?
A local woman has been murdered. People are stranded in a snowstorm, and the killer is among them. Was it the spinster? Maybe the newlyweds? What about the strange little man who claims his car overturned in a drift? Could it have been the retired Army Ranger? You can find out as Barn Lot Theater presents Agatha Christie's Mousetrap, August 18th through the 21st and 25th through 28th. For more show information and to purchase your tickets, call 270-432-BARN or visit barnlottheater.org.
All right, I can't find my touchstone, so I'm going to make it myself. You ready? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. That's the best touchstone I got. So call me up right now and be the fifth caller at 651-9149 or 800-956-1023, and you will be, hey, look at there. People are calling based on my touchstone. Caller 5 is going to go to see this wonderful production over at the Barn Lot Theater of Mousetrap.
Coming to the Capitol Theater at Bowling Green, Gene Watson.
Just to satisfy your 14-karat mind.
Gene Watson, September 30th.
Should I come home or should I go crazy?
No, you should just go and see Gene Watson.
Got no reason now for going home.
Gene Watson.
But speak softly, you're talking to my heart.
Gene Watson.
After love in the hot afternoon.
Gene Watson, he's back.
But I think that you're out doing what I'm here doing without.
Gene Watson. For tickets, call 888-459-8704 or go to bowlinggreenconcerts.com. Tickets on sale now.
Barbara Shirley is the fifth caller. Hey, Barbara, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Henry?
I'm good. Did you recognize my touch tone there, did you?
I did.
All right. You knew exactly what to do with that, didn't you?
Yes.
Are you ready for a nice night at the theater?
I am. It's my birthday Wednesday. So
well,
this is a good birthday gift.
Yes, and you know, you can go. Of course, this production is underway at the Barn Lot Theater, Mousetrap. I've got not one, but 2 tickets that you can go over there. You can take whoever you want to with you, Barbara, and enjoy the wonderful production of Mousetrap at the Barn Lot Theater. And I'm here to tell you, they work so hard on that. These folks over there that put that time and effort into building what has become a community staple at the Barn Lot Theater do a really great job, and you're going to really enjoy this production, Barbara. We've got, when you come get these tickets, you'll also get some information about some of the other upcoming productions over there at the Barn Lot Theater. How about that?
I'm looking forward to it.
Happy birthday. It'll be good when you go, if you can go Wednesday on your birthday, maybe somebody from Mousetrap will sing a happy birthday to you, Barbara, okay?
All righty. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Barbara Shirley. That's right. She wins 2 tickets to Mousetrap, courtesy of the Barn Lot Theater.
Nurse practitioners Paula West and Haley Cavanaugh at the TJ Health Cape City Clinic offer experienced health care for all your family's needs, including family medicine care, pediatric care treating children starting at birth, along with cardiology services. The TJ Health Cape City Clinic across from Save-A-Lot is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Appointments are recommended. Walk-ins are accepted based on availability. For additional information, visit tjregionalhealth.org/Cape City. TJ Regional Health. Total local care.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Around the world and up your street is Tidbit News. Good morning, James.
Hey, good morning. Am I on?
You are.
Okay, I almost swallowed my tongue when you did your sound effects there.
Okay.
That was hilarious.
Hey, you think I had to use my tongue for that sound effect.
That was great.
I don't think we want to. Well, there was the usual Monday morning. We have, in this modern era, it's not if a computer is going to be bad, it's which one's not going to be working this Monday morning.
That's it.
And it's the one that has my touch tone on it. So obviously there's an incentive for me to get that one fixed.
For sure.
Either that or the next time you and Brendan are going to do that.
Okay. I don't even know how you did that. So
I'm not real sure either. I mean, I was sitting up here, and I said, what in the world? I mean, I thought, I didn't know if someone was having a stroke or what.
That's great.
Well, I always make sure the camera's not on when I do that. That would not be... You know how we've been on the Howard Stern show because they think that we're hokey or something. But if they see me do the sound effect of the touch tone, that'll be
not pretty.
No, not at all.
Well, here's what I would say. I wish, and I tell James this all the time,
Yeah.
I wish that I would keep a record of what you do because honestly, I remember it was just probably a year ago maybe, and you had you mimicked the sound of a coyote's mating call.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do remember that. I don't remember how I did it.
Probably
but
a year and a half ago.
I hadn't heard a coyote since then.
Right.
He had to YouTube it to find out how to do it.
That's
right. But he compared it to his neighbor, Mr. Bobby Richardson, and said that was him coming out to get the Courier-Journal.
That's right.
And I never asked Bobby Richardson about that.
Wow. We have coyotes in our neighborhood over there,
Right.
At a certain time of the year when it's like right about just before sunrise. That's when they launch that mating call. Anyway, you can hear it, though. It's pretty interesting.
Right.
All right, let's see. What I want to do is, James, let's remind everybody, it won't be until Wednesday during this time spot that you'll be giving out the clue for the next Opry giveaway.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings.
So be listening for that. We don't want people to lose that. We had a good time with that last week. A couple of things to share with you here. Let's start off with a sad note, just because it's the way it goes. Virginia Patton Moss, who is a former actress, she is the final surviving adult cast member of It's a Wonderful Life. Died Saturday in Albany, Georgia, at the age of 97 years of age.
Wow, she lived a long life.
She was confirmed through Legacy. Carolyn Grimes, who worked with Ms. Moss on It's a Wonderful Life, she was a child actor. She posted a tribute to her co-star on the personal Facebook page. 97.
Wow.
And we certainly, my goodness, what a career she had. Think about that.
Sound like she had a wonderful life.
No, that's right. No question about it. That's right. As Frank Capra would say. All right, this is for a couple of things here for you to think about. This one really, what do you think about this? This could generate some backlash here. Down in Miami, Florida, commissioners voted this week to pursue a pilot program to build a designated zone for people experiencing homelessness. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to build tiny homes, 100 tiny homes on Virginia Key, which is an island off the coast of Florida. It's the home to a summer camp for kids, a sewage plant, and it's not too far away from right across the water of one of the most expensive zip codes in Florida. The U.S. commissioners are calling the idea a transition zone. Plan would provide housing, food, showers, and even outreach services for some of Miami's homeless population.
Did you say near a sewage plant?
That's what it says. Quote, in my opinion, this is not an encampment. It's going to be a concentration camp, says this Commissioner Manolo Reyes. Nobody is forcing anybody. Florida has 27,000 people who are experiencing homelessness. So they're going to build these homes over there on this island. But it seems this Commissioner Reyes, I guess I'm saying his name right, he wants to use that same island to build a soccer park for kids. So interesting. Wow. I don't know if I'm homeless. Do I want to be on an island that I can't get off of? That does sound like an encampment to me.
Sounds like sewage to me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, when you think island, you think Gilligan's Island.
That's right. So we'll be watching for that. Hey, Gilligan's Island, that was actually on MeTV, that was the marathon this weekend.
Love that stuff.
It was good. I watched it. Mr. Howell and Miss Howell were a butler for somebody. It was really good.
Thurston Howell the Third.
And finally, by the way, while you're doing this stuff, say happy birthday to your granddaughter.
Hey, granddaughter, happy birthday.
Well, use her name. What I was getting at.
Oh.
Sorry. Not just rolling the dice for whoever happened to be a granddaughter.
If you're a granddaughter today,
I don't know how you have, but
I have two.
That was a sewage of a response.
That's right. It is.
E-Raya.
Okay.
We call her E-Ray for short.
E-Raya Deskins.
She's 5, and her first day of school.
First day of school. Wow. My goodness, she'll never forget this birthday.
Oh my goodness. Anyway. So she is pretty pumped this morning.
We're going to give you that chance to do that.
It's just terrific to see.
Thank you.
It's terrific when the excitement of the first day of school still lingers. Cause
that's right.
That sometimes for some kids, or most kids, I think, that goes away.
It does.
Yeah, by day 2.
Well, it is. It depends on how long it'll last.
That's right.
But anyway, I wanted to pass that along. And the other thing I want to pass along is this last tidbit story. We've had a lot of information about pilots and, how overworked pilots are and how difficult it is in the airline industry. Mm-hmm. I saw this story this morning. 2 Ethiopian airline pilots fell asleep while flying a flight from Sudan to Ethiopia.
Do they not have coffee on those planes?
They missed their landing. The incident took place this past Monday, according to Aviation Herald, which added the air traffic control raised an alert when flight ET-343 approached the airport, but did not start the descent.
Oh, wow.
While the pilots fell asleep, the Boeing 737 autopilot system kept the plane cruising at 37,000 feet.
Oh, goodness.
It further said the aircraft remained on the ground for about 2.5 hours before departing for its next flight. The ATC, it seems, tried to contact the pilot several times, but could not succeed. When the plane overflew the runway where it was supposed to land, the autopilot disconnected, and that triggered an alarm which woke up the pilots, according to the Herald. Then they maneuvered the aircraft around and landed on runway 25 minutes later. Fortunately, nobody was hurt.
Thank God.
Data from the aviation surveillance systems confirmed the incident took place. The aircraft flew over the runway. They were asleep on their way to Addis Ababa, committing a boo-boo.
I just don't understand how 2 people can go to sleep with a job like that.
All I can think about. Yeah, you will find out. But what I'm saying is that I couldn't get out of my mind that this alarm that went off had to be like that darn smartphone alarm.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that'll wake you up.
It makes you mad. I need an alarm that doesn't make me mad it went off.
Recently, we unfortunately had those 2 planes that crashed midair, I believe, here in the United States. So something disastrous could have happened.
Yes, it could have, for sure. Mm-hmm. We don't want that.
But why would 2 people go to sleep at the same time?
Just fate.
Flying a plane.
They didn't really enjoy each other's company.
Maybe they were using or abusing something.
Could be.
Who knows?
All right, the Trader's coming up next on the Willie, and Brennan's News is next at 8 o'clock.
This is your home for Glasgow's best variety. WCLU Glasgow. W276DO Glasgow. WCLU.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Parts of the drought-stricken West are now flooded out, including Utah, where a hiker is believed to have been swept away by water at Zion National Park. There were overnight water rescues in parts of Texas, too. CBS meteorologist David Parkinson says the system is moving east now.
A tremendous amount of rain continues to fall in Texas, and we've already got some incredible totals, over half a foot of rain falling at the National Weather Service in Fort Worth, and more rain is on the way.
About that missing hiker, park spokesman Jonathan Schaefer says 29-year-old Jatel Agnihoti of Tucson was swept off her feet on Friday.
The family has been in the park, and we're working to support them as they go through
with all of us. There are more than 20 people working on this search and rescue operation, and they're working all along the length of Zion Canyon.
He says the woman's backpack, which had personal belongings, including her cell phone, have been found. Today, Russia is blaming Ukrainian spy agencies for a car bombing on the outskirts of Moscow that killed the daughter of a top ally of President Putin. He's also an ardent supporter of the invasion in Ukraine. More from the BBC's Sasha Schlichter.
They even attended the fateful patriotic festival outside Moscow, where Daria and her father were guests of honor. She died when her car was torn apart by a bomb on her way back. After that, according to the FSB, they made their escape to Estonia.
Ukraine denies the accusation. Europe is considering training Ukrainian military forces now. Correspondent Cammie McCormick reports.
The European Union will be debating the launch of a major training operation in Ukraine's neighboring countries. The U.S. and its allies have already spent billions of dollars sending equipment to Ukraine. With Soviet-era supplies dwindling, this training would be essential if they were to provide more modern equipment.
Jill Biden will be back at the White House today, a week after she tested positive for COVID. Like her husband, the president, she had mild symptoms and received the antiviral medication Paxlovid. What's worse than a long car ride with fidgety kids? An even longer ride with fidgety kids. Correspondent Vicki Barker is at the foreign desk.
Experts at Nottingham Trent University surveyed 2,000 parents of under 12s, assessing the timings and triggers for road trip tantrums. Their resulting formula calculates length of journey, age of children, number of siblings present, and snacks and distractions offered. They discovered the more snacks and distractions on offer, and the fewer the siblings present, the longer the interval between outbursts. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
S&P futures are down 51, Dow futures off 344. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Here's the deal. I've had constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements, but my symptoms keep coming back.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
There's relief on the way for beef eaters. And we don't mean the guys in the funny hats. Correspondent Jim Krasula explains.
We have less of a beef with beef prices. Prices of beef, typically among the costliest grocery store purchases, are falling after more than a year of increases. That prompted many Americans to buy less beef and switch to less expensive protein like chicken and pork. Beef supplies are improving with better staffing at meat plants.
Most of us are eating out at restaurants less, but coffee shops and bakeries are another story. Wall Street Journal says that as inflation rose this summer, Americans spent almost 2% more on small indulgences like cappuccinos and croissants. Some analysts say the relative health of Java joints and pastry places could also be a reflection of workers returning to offices. The average price of a cup of coffee in a quick service shop, $4.90 in the first 6 months of the year. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Ew, Dad, why are toenails so ugly and yellow?
Hey, it's James, and if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands of others are free from fungus. And you can be too. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-764-9219. That's 800-764-9219. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-764-9219, or visit crystalflush.com.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for less. Window World.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
It's Monday, August 22nd, 2022. I'm Brennan Crane. Welcome into WCLU Local News. Well, the Glasgow City Council is expected to meet this evening. They're going to be meeting at 7 o'clock there in the Glasgow City Council chambers, and they have quite the agenda this evening. First, that logo that was released by the Strategic Planning Committee of the City of Glasgow a couple of weeks ago, that's going to be up for consideration this evening in the form of an ordinance. City Council members will be hearing an ordinance to accept the use of the City of Glasgow's logo as presented from Chandler Thinks. Now, if you remember, that's that Franklin, Tennessee-based marketing firm that was hired by the City Council to complete a branding and logo for the City of Glasgow. Mr. Steve Chandler, who is the proprietor of Chandler Thinks, is expected to present the branding logo information this evening to the council. Also on the agenda is that highly talked about piece of property that is up for sale, perhaps. That's going to be on the agenda this evening. The City Council will be hearing that in the form of a resolution, and that's a resolution for the City of Glasgow to accept the option to purchase agreement from Barron County magistrates to purchase land. Now, you might be asking, what is this about? Well, last week, the Barron Fiscal Court passed unanimously, except for the support of the Judge Executive, to entertain the City of Glasgow for a portion of its property along West Main Street. Now, last week, we could not get confirmation about where this property was exactly, but given information in tonight's City Council agenda meeting packet, we've now confirmed that that is the portions of property there along West Main Street between the post office and the Dollar General store, and that even extends back toward the Department of Public Works parking lot. That resolution for the City of Glasgow this evening saying that whereas the City of Glasgow owns property in the city that has become essential to the magistrates of the Barron County Fiscal Court, therefore a 180-day option to purchase agreement with the City of Glasgow to build a judicial center has been proposed. And whereas the City of Glasgow will retain from tract G172 0.68 acres that is marked as a fenced-in area, it is not part of this transaction. Therefore, they'll be only selling 4.418 acres. Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved by the City of Glasgow that the Glasgow City Council does hereby agree to accept the proposal of option to purchase from the Barron County magistrates in this resolution. Now, of course, again, this is a resolution, and keep in mind that the City Council, this is on their agenda this evening. So in no way have they accepted this. In no way has it been presented to them yet in the official form of a meeting. So keep that in mind when you're hearing this. We are not saying that this portion of property is sold, nor will council members agree to that. We really don't know. Now, if you remember, there's also a competing project in that location, and for the longest time now, that has been a downtown park. Supporters of a downtown park here in Glasgow have eyed that piece of property that's directly across the street from Green Mechanical. WCLU News spoke to Wes Simpson, who has spearheaded that project, and here's what he had to say about if that portion of property is sold.
On paper, it would seem that it would be gone. The project would be done. Nobody knows what the county's plans are with buying more than what they need, because I do remember the magistrate said they didn't want anything to do with a park. So I'm just going off of that they don't want a park. So if they own it, I assume the downtown park project as we know it is done.
Now, of course, this project has been going on for about 3 years. Simpson originally presenting that to the council in July of 2019. Park supporters have rallied, according to some recent posts made on social media, that they expect to be at that council meeting this evening. Now, again, it's unclear what exactly is going to happen, whether the city council will agree to sell that portion of property. And here's the speculation. The city of Glasgow owns all of this property that we just showed you there on television. And better yet, Barron Fiscal Court is seeking to buy up quite a bit of that property. Now, members of the PDB confirmed to WCLU that they do not necessarily need all of that property that magistrates are seeking to purchase. They've only described about 2.5 acres needed for that complete judicial center project. Simpson says that if that project does go through, he says that he expects the downtown park project will be over. His message to council members:
don't forget, you've spent the time, the resources, the money for the strategic plan. You've spent money on the RFP. All these people have volunteered this time. The community showed up to support this project. Don't let that be clouded by an offer to buy it without a plan for the park to be there. I think the community has shown it wants the park. It made its voice known in the listening sessions for the strategic plan. It's made its voice known at committee meetings and council meetings. Don't forget those things. Think about the future. Think about young folks and what do young folks want to be able to stay here. They want places to interact. They want things to do. I think that's what I would tell them is let's finish this process out. Let's not just cut this off and throw away everything that has been worked towards for 3 years or more now.
Also on that agenda this evening, the City Council will be reading on the first reading an ordinance to add 2 police officers to the Glasgow Police Department for the next fiscal year. Police Chief Jennifer Arbogast sending a letter to the mayor describing that it is of critical need to add 2 additional officers due to the changing habits of law enforcement nowadays, saying that officers are having to respond to more incident calls, critical incident calls specifically. Glasgow's call volume is very high for an agency our size, she says in that letter. Again, that meeting is slated for 7 o'clock this evening. That'll be live on the Glasgow Electric Plant Board's YouTube page and, of course, Channel 6. Glasgow police say they arrested 2 people last week after a vehicle pursuit that happened Thursday. An officer observed a vehicle on Park Avenue traveling through that residential area at a high rate of speed and driving reckless. Police say that officer attempted to conduct a traffic stop. However, the vehicle refused to stop and traveled along New Salem Road before turning onto Beaver Creek Road and came to an abrupt stop. Now, the driver was later identified as Brandon Shaw. He apparently placed his vehicle in reverse and began to travel at Officer Harden at a high rate of speed and attempted to strike the police cruiser. Shaw failed to strike the vehicle and sped off again. He traveled into Metcalfe County, got onto the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Expressway and traveled eastbound. State police troopers were able to successfully deploy spike strips on the suspect's vehicle. A short time later, that vehicle finally getting stopped in Adair County. Officers later confirming that Shaw did not have a valid driver's license. He was non-compliant with the sex offender registry list and had active warrants. Officers also alleged that they found methamphetamine and a syringe inside that vehicle. Shaw of Park City is charged with a slew of charges, including failure to comply with the sex offender registry, wanton endangerment, reckless driving, and first-degree assault of a police officer. Pamela Stinnett of Glasgow, she was also arrested in connection to that incident. Well, remember, as children return to school, AAA East Central has launched its annual Schools Open Drive Carefully campaign. Keep in mind that this hour, students are getting on and off of school buses, and particularly in the county where there's reduced visibility with hills and all of that sort of thing. Keep in mind that you need to take it a little slow. There are going to be students in the area. Now, here are some recommendations for you, especially if you're traveling through those school zones, especially where there are officers directing traffic. Keep this in mind. line. Ditch those distractions. Research shows that glancing away from the road for just 2 seconds, that's going to double your chance of crashing. Of course, stay alert, brake for buses, watch for bikes, plan ahead, and remember our local law enforcement, too, that are standing in the roadway directing traffic at our local schools, especially here in the city. You're listening to WCLU Local News. We'll be right back.
This is WCLU News. It's 8:15.
Late sleepers everywhere are demanding breakfast until noon on weekends. Well, hit that snooze button because Hardee's is extending breakfast hours until noon. And now you can celebrate it with the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal. Imagine eating your choice of a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy all before midday on the weekends. The late sleepers have spoken. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day. Price of participation may vary.
Are you or someone you know looking for a new career? Your next job could be right around the corner with the WCLU Job Board. Just visit WCLUradio.com and click on Job Board to be connected to local businesses looking for their next hire. Why stay unsatisfied and unfulfilled in your career when businesses in the area are actively hiring? The WCLU Radio Job Board, working to connect you with your new career.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep. Having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region, we are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. Authorities say 9 people were arrested at the Kentucky State Fair this weekend, which closed early Saturday night after suspicious activity was reported to law enforcement. Kentucky State Police said in a statement that the fair began a soft close at about 10 p.m. to ensure the safety of attendees. Police say there were no reported injuries. Now, police say that the initial investigation, it does show that a group of people caused panic with noise-making devices, leading fairgoers to believe shots had been fired. Investigators have found no physical evidence that a weapon was fired, but that investigation is ongoing. The National Park Service has awarded $180,000 to help with rehabilitation efforts at the old Mulkey Meeting House State Historic Site. The Kentucky Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet said in a statement that the grant is a part of a program commemorating the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Old Mulkey's focus is the Meeting House, which is a 218-year-old structure that was the original home of Mill Creek Baptist Church, which was led by John Mulkey there in Monroe County from 1773 to 1844. The statement says the Meeting House is currently the oldest freestanding log church in the state. And finally today, the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education says college graduation rates are continuing to climb in the state, although undergraduate enrollment has fallen. The Council's 2022 progress report says graduation rates increased 1.8 percentage points at public universities and 4.1 points in the Kentucky Community and Technical College system. Now, the report provides information about public higher education performance for the 2020-2021 school year. The document says underrepresented minority students' graduation rates at those public universities, they rose 4.3 percentage points, and the council says those students continue to outpace progress overall, narrowing performance disparities. Have a great Monday.
WCLU News, it's 8:19.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh! Watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite.
Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program offer to those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/advantage. Head to netsuite.com/advantage for this extended special financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/advantage.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
The man receiving much of the credit for pursuing justice following Breonna Taylor's death is dead. Chris Wells was found dead in his apartment Sunday in Louisville. Sadiqa Reynolds of the Louisville Urban League tells WLKY the toll suffered throughout the process was tremendous.
You have nightmares sometimes. You sacrifice time with your family. I think that investment may have taken more out of so many of us.
Authorities say early indications are that Wells took his own life. Senator Rand Paul wants the government to find the origin of the COVID-19 virus. Paul tweeted yesterday with a link to his comments on the issue, saying he wants the Republican Party to investigate the disease more closely if they take control of the Senate in the November elections. There is alleged shared interest in the investigation among elected Republicans, including Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He added his thoughts on monkeypox, criticizing the Democrats for how they have handled the outbreak. Police in Jessamine County are thankful an anonymous donor who gifted a bulletproof vest to their police dog. The county has one canine officer called Macho Man, who police say is a beloved member of the community. The cost of a bulletproof vest can be more than $1,000, and the donation means funds can be used to buy other equipment for the unit. The vest will help protect Macho Man in his duties, which include drug searches and tracking suspects. The new school year at the University of Kentucky starts today. It's the first day of classes for students, including over 3,000 freshmen who were welcomed with last week's K-Week festivities. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.